How long have I been cryosleep? How long has it been since I made a video? Oh, Jesus Christ, Ellie, come on, think. What can you do for a video? What can you do? What could you do? There we go. This baby right here. Not a fan. This is the... well, not this one in particular, but this series is kind of like the downfall of gaming. You know what I mean? The rehashes, repeats, remakes, remasters, redones, the rees, you know. Makes me angry every time. Makes me angry every time I look at it. You know, if this game never happened, it would be a much happier place. I just wish we could forget it. There's an idea. Games have changed over the years, and like the Special Needs More High Club, it's had its ups and its downs. Fucking cut. Who writes this shit? Like a particularly angry elevator, the gaming industry has had its ups and its downs, but some moments change gaming forever, and not for the better. So here they are, the top 10 moments in gaming we wish we could forget. Number 10. Man, I remember the Wii coming out. For some reason that makes me feel old. I guess it was because I remember laughing at the name. Wii. Of course they'd have some kind of gimmick seal with it. In the case of the Wii, it was motion controls. Ugh. It didn't work at all. It only picked up when you were moving or pointing at the screen, and the rest was completely random. It made some games like Red Steel completely unbeatable. More or less made the idea of motion control seem just silly. Well, that's what you get for being ahead of your time, I suppose. Speaking of ahead of its time. Number 9. When you objectively think about the Virtual Boy, the idea seems plausible. I mean, we're getting the Oculus Rift, and Project Morpheus, and Google Glass. So the idea makes sense, but unfortunately this head-tracking nightmare was awfully made. Nobody knew how to program games for it, and it ended up having no recognisable titles. This, plus the high price tag, difficulty of use, and blinding headaches you got while playing it, let's just say it was less than success. Unfortunately, the industry took the failure of the Virtual Boy as a sign that virtual reality was not to be attempted, and it stayed that way up until very recently. I mean, think about how much more advanced the tech would have gotten if it worked. This goddamn wreck had never happened, we would have had way better virtual reality technology by now. Not to mention, when you wore it you looked a little bit like Megatron. Number 8. Oh god, Paul is so good. It's probably the most perfect game there ever has, or ever will be. But look at these. I get it. You know, trying to copy a cult classic, it helps. But what made Port so good was writing, originality, clever puzzles, and aesthetic. And when it just copies the aesthetic, it's just kind of shit, honestly. These games, while not all bad, are clones. They're often boring and just kind of dumb. If Portal hadn't happened, none of these would ever existed. And I can't figure out which is worse, honestly. So yeah, Portal clones, number 8. Number 7. Meh. That's how I feel about the new console generation. Meh. They're decent. Like, at best. We have the Wii U, which is a decent idea, with a couple good games, but suffers from a high price tag and the fact that no one can program for it. The Xbox One, which is a media centre, not a games console. And the PS4, which I would say is better than Xbox One, but that's not saying much. This entire generation has just been kind of disappointing. It's like all the innovation found in consoles like the N64 or PS2 just disappeared. Makes me more sad than anything. I wish I could forget it. Number 6. Oh man, a new Duke Nukem game. Yeah, I loved Duke Nukem 2,000 years ago, when the last game came out. Imagine if Mario waited 20 years before releasing a new game. Then, when he made a new one, it wasn't even that good. That's what this was like. I mean, it wasn't the worst game in the world, but it wasn't worth the wait. The reason we should forget this is because everyone asked for Duke Nukem, and when it was delivered, it, while being a good game, still sold terribly, and was universally slated. All it taught developers was that listening to your fanbase will cause you to flop. Number 5. I actually quite like Sonic. I like its design and basic gameplay idea of going fast. I feel like recent games have ranged from decent to good. Then I remember that Sonic Team made this piece of shit, and everything is instantly forgotten. I mean, the game wasn't just bad, it's goddamn infamous. It is debatably the worst game ever made. It is so bad, it stops being bad and is actually incredibly funny to play. If this pile of crap had never happened, Sonic might have been better today. I don't even care though. This would have been higher, but I fucking love playing this game. It's hilarious. Number 4. Mech suits, eat them up, yum. You know, I bet you don't even know this game. I bet you don't care, but this is important. And you wanna know why? It's because it was the first ever game to feature paid DLC. Meaning this was the precursor to every £5 camo suit in Call of Duty, to every £20 hammer in Assassin's Creed. This is the reason that shitty paid DLC exists. Fuck you, Mexel.
Warning, you cannot take any of the things I say in this video out of context, aka, Mexel's actually a pretty good game, don't hate on it.
Number 3. Pokemon? I hear you scream. How could you possibly wish we could forget Pokemon? Well, I'll tell you little nuglets you. Pokemon suffers from a special syndrome I call Call of Duty syndrome, in which every single game in the franchise is exactly the fucking same. Ironically, this was not started by Call of Duty. Nintendo themselves are a pretty large contributor towards this, especially with Mario games, but with Pokemon I can kind of forgive it. You know, it's a social game, it has to keep up with times. But people see this differently. They view Pokemon as constant repeating as something else. They think the games are as much single player, can afford to repeat themselves all the time, like Call of Duty. I'm talking about Call of Duty. As different as these games are, they suffer from the same goddamn syndrome of making the same game every year and having thousands buy it because, why the fuck not? But it was Pokemon that started that trend. So yeah, Pokemon is number 3. Kind of like Call of Duty being like a sub number, like a 2.5. So like Pokemon 3, Call of Duty 2.5, Charleston Athletic 3. Number 2. Man, I love Minecraft. This is a similar entry to both Portland and Pokemon because while Minecraft is great itself, it's what it did to gaming that fucked up. This horrible phrase that is early access. Okay, I'm lying. Some early access games are good. Some. Minecraft was a game to define this generation. Motherfucking early access games every 5 minutes that don't work. Survival simulators plagued with bugs. Do you think any of this would have happened if Minecraft hadn't? Well, there's your answer. Minecraft, you're a fantastic game, but you did this. Number 1. This game was bad, and I mean awful. I should know, I played it to get this footage. But you know what the real problem was? The aftermath. Because this dumb game, made in 1982, destroyed everything. The entire gaming industry shut down for 2 years. The effects are still felt, even as late as 1990. 10 years of potential progress practically lost because of E.T.'s dick finger. Well done, E.T. You were the biggest mistake the video game industry has ever made. Call me up in 5 years. Tell me how the landfill's doing. So there we have it. Top 10 moments of gaming we wish we could forget. You know, that was terrible to make. Like, playing that E.T. game for 2 hours? That was awful. I sure hope I don't have to play any more absolutely terrible Atari games. Tell my wife and kids I love them. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give a like, and if you want to watch more, give a subscribe. We're making more stuff like this. You could probably guess the theme of the next one considering the ending of this video. So you know, we'll be back.